We all ask questions to God. Why? How long? Where are you? What is your will? But there is one question, a question almost no one asks, a question so simple and yet so revealing that it can completely change the way you see your spiritual life. Today, I want you to discover what this question is. But not just discover it, I want you to dare to ask it. Because maybe that is exactly what's missing in your walk with God. We all, at some point in our journey, find ourselves at the crossroads of faith, whispering or even crying out questions to God. On that cold night, when a medical diagnosis brought uncertainty, your heart tightened with the painful, "Why, Lord? Why is this happening to me?" Or perhaps, in the silence while waiting for a promise that seems never to come true, your soul aches with, "How long, God? How much longer must I wait?" And amidst the confusion of life's decisions, we cry out, "Where are you in all this? What is your clear will for me?" These questions are natural, human, a reflection of our desire to understand the divine plan. But there is a question, a subtle one, almost forgotten in our hurry for answers. A question so simple in its wording, yet so deeply revealing that it has the power to completely reshape the lens through which you view your spiritual journey. Today, I want to invite you to uncover the mystery behind this crucial question. But my invitation goes beyond intellectual discovery. I wholeheartedly encourage you to dare to voice it in your own life. Because maybe, just maybe, this is the missing piece in the puzzle of your intimate walk with God. The lost link that connects your search for answers with transformative learning. We live in the era of instant answers. We want signs in text messages. We want miracles with delivery dates. And when the answer doesn't come, or when life hits us hard, our first reaction is to question God's plan. But what if the most important question isn't about what God can do for you, but about what He wants to form and build in you? The question almost nobody asks God is, "Lord, what are you trying to teach me right now?" Think about it. When money runs short at the end of the month, we usually only ask, "Why? Why don't you give me more, Lord?" But the wise heart asks, "What are you teaching me about depending on your provision and not my own strength?" Or when prayers for a marriage, a child, or healing seem unanswered, our tendency is to shout, "How long, Lord? Where is your promise?" But the question that leads us to maturity is, what are you shaping in me during this wait? About patience and trusting that your timing is perfect. This is the question that changes everything. Because when you ask it, pain stops being punishment. It becomes a classroom. You stop seeing God as a problem solver and begin to see Him as a teacher, a father who shapes character, molds hearts, and prepares great futures. Jesus said in John 13, verse 7, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." The life of Joseph, the governor of Egypt, teaches us the same thing. He didn't understand betrayal, slavery, or prison. He didn't ask why for every suffering. But in the end, he could look back and say that the evil done to him, God turned into good. What you are going through today may not be coincidence, may not be abandonment. Perhaps it is simply a lesson, a training. And the big question remains, can you endure today's pain, knowing it is a lesson for tomorrow's glory? This is faith that doesn't demand explanations, but seeks discernment. It's not God, take me out of this, but God, teach me through this. So, I want to invite you to do an exercise now. This is not a mental exercise, but one of surrender. I encourage you to close your eyes for a moment and think about your biggest struggle today. It might be that anxiety that keeps you awake, that door that stubbornly wouldn't open, that answer that never came, that relationship that fell apart. Bring that pain, that uncertainty, to the center of your mind. Now, instead of asking again, why, God? Why did you let this happen to me? I challenge you to change the question. Out loud, if you can, or silently in your heart. Ask, Lord, what do you want to teach me through this? I know it's not easy. It hurts. But it is in the pain that the deepest lessons are forged. Maybe the lesson is patience. Learning to take a deep breath and trust that God's timing is always perfect. Maybe it's dependence, realizing you control nothing, and your strength must come from Him, not yourself. Maybe it's forgiveness, releasing the resentment that held you for so long. Or maybe it's simply rest, learning to calm your heart and trust that even in the storm, He is in control. One thing is certain, if you ask this question sincerely, your perspective on life and pain will change forever. You will begin to see that every pain is a teacher, every silence is a lesson, and every wait is a training in faith for what's to come. And that God, He is not a miracle agent, but the master of all things. Now you have a choice. You can continue living in the waiting room for answers, demanding a why for every closed door. Or you can, with courage, step into the classroom, exchanging the role of victim for that of a learner. This is the question almost nobody asks God, but those who dare to ask it discover that every pain has a lesson, every weight has a purpose, and every challenge is an invitation to deeper faith. If you want to continue on this journey of spiritual growth, receiving messages that help you go beyond the obvious and strengthen your walk with God, click the subscribe button below and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next videos. And I want you to do something now. As an act of faith and public declaration, write in the comments, Lord, I choose to learn. And it's not just a comment, it's a prayer. It's your heart surrendering to a new way of seeing life and relating to God. And if this message has somehow touched you, think of someone you know right now is trapped in pain and only asks, why? Share the link to this video with them, because maybe the only thing missing for their life to change is the courage to ask the right question. When the echo lives, your spirit awakens. Until next time, the Living Echo.